The first frame is a shady-looking pawn and antique shop. One man hastily enters the shop with a toy in his hand. As soon as he enters the shop, the light flickers and we know in an instant that something is not right. The man is sweating and appears to be in a hurry. We notice blood on his white shirt, and soon we will know that it was not his, but belonged to someone else. He asked the shop owner to help him get rid of the toy, but he did not call it a toy. The shop owner said the sold toys could not be returned, but the man insisted. The shop owner thought that the toy was broken and its hand was stuck in the air. Within seconds, the monkey toy started drumming. The room tensed. A random rat cut some rope, and a spear went straight through the gut of the shop owner. But we have not seen what happened to the shop owner yet. The spear is stuck on the wall, and then we see the last hit on the drum by the monkey toy, and the sphere, which was tied to a rope, started retreating and retreated along with the instant time of the shop owner's stomach. This is what we call an introduction. One of the best evil entities introduction in the cinema, that was the monkey. And this is Devendra Raj Purohit. This is my first video essay and I am covering the monkey. So be patient, it's gonna be a really long video. The background: the monkey was written and directed by Osgood Perkins. The story is based on Stephen King's 1918 short story The Monkey. The film was a great hit and generated mostly positive reviews from all around the world. Cast: Theo James as Hal and Bill Shelburne, Tatiana Maslany as Louise Shelburne, the mother of twins, Colin O'Brien as P.T. Shelburne, Hal's son, and Adam Scott as twins' father. The story of two twin brothers, Hal Shelburne and Bill, living a life without their father and with their mother, who hardly give a damn about anything but her sex life. One fateful day, discovered the monkey and the horror started. They witnessed several deaths around them and decided to let go of the monkey. But even after years of leaving the monkey behind, Hal could not ever move on and kept his family away from him. Suddenly, due to some circumstances, he had to go back to his foster parents' house, and the game of death started again. Now let's review. So I like the way the creator decided to go with introduction to all the characters, especially the monkey. Creating a suitable environment for such a character introduction is necessary. When you are making a horror movie, you know that the first impression is very important. We are not only talking about the characters that are going to die first or going to survive, or most importantly the things that are going to be a catalyst for all, but horror story writers to is create an undeniable aura of the evil entity. This is to make sure that even if the evil entity is not on the screen, you always feel its presence and stay on your toes. Some writers successfully deliver on this build-up and give enough jump scares to the audience. Some usually fall flat and ruin the experience of the entire build-up. The monkey kept killing people at regular intervals to make sure that you were always entertained. I was mostly surprised by the deaths because most were unexpected and quite unique in the movie. The stars from the very first, at the shopkeeper, the poor man had no idea what he was being returned to him, and he called the monkey a toy. He was trying to comprehend the situation because a man with blood stains on his shirt came to him and was trying to return the monkey. There was no written policy on the toys, but he was still being told to return them. Within seconds, he was no more. But we did not see it coming. When the monkey started drumming, the entire mood of the room turned serious, and suddenly a rope-tied spear appeared and went straight through the shop owner. This was the first time we got to know that the monkey made the final destination, or at least took lessons in killing people. And the last beat on the drum hits differently as the final act of the execution. The story was progressing at its own pace, and we got to know more about the twins. It was clear that they were poles apart from each other. Hal was a normal timid kid, and his first encounter with school bullies made him sad and angry. The second encounter with bullies was orchestrated by Bill, and we got to know that Bill was actually a horrible person right from the start. This made Hal go angry that he simply wanted Bill gone from his life. Hal tried to get help from the monkey and turned the toy key. The monkey started drumming, and we were all hoping that now Bill would be the next target and face an inevitable death. Bill entered the room and called for his mom. He panicked and called for his mom again, and we saw the mob freeze in the kitchen. She tried to turn back, and we noticed blood on her face. The last drum beat, and the mob's head up popped. An unexpected and a totally uncalled for death. Now we know what the monkey can do, and we are more afraid of it, along with hell. I found this approach of killing people at regular intervals throughout the film interesting. Most horror movies fall into this trap of letting the protagonist find the solution and pause the killings in the meantime. The monkey does not do that. The creators made sure that you would be surprised by unsuspecting deaths. The unique way was killing people was taken from the Final Destination franchise. However, it still looks fresh. They did not shy away from showing blood and gore. From the first death to the very last, it was something to marvel at. The unexpected ways of killing people always intrigue the audience, and the monkey creators were successful in their attempts. The one thing that I feel mostly lacks in modern writers is writing unique characters in the kind of movies and shows we are seeing nowadays. Unique characters are hard to find. Most characters will think alike and speak the same way. You can see this problem in several shows like Emily in Paris, Sex Education, Acolyte, etc. You can observe the clear signs of the writer's own thought process and feelings and their ideology. A writer should be neutral in their approach and should write characters with completely different character traits. And well, I did see that in the monkey. Osgood Perkins did a good job here by creating these unique characters. I would like to give a shout out to Nego Del Rio, who played the character of a rookie priest. He was hardly there on screen for a minute, but he left an impression. The character was a little funny and he didn't know what to say. He made everyone laugh with his unique style of talking. He turned a sad sequence into a funny one. I think he was the only person justifying the movie category horror comedy. Now let's move to the people who actually had to carry the story. The toxic Selvan twin brothers, while both of them are identical twins, they are poles apart from each other. Will mostly made Hal's life hell for no reason at all. For the most part, Bill actually hated his brother for no actual reason and always tried to harm him, while Hal always tried to make amends with his brother. Bill was finding new ways to harm Hal. Eventually, when their mom died, that's when Bill completely lost his objectivity and sense of reality. He blamed Hal for her death and he tried to harm Hal till his last breath. This led to a complete mess in the lives of people around, and note he anchored the monkey too in the climax, which led to the death of hundreds of innocent civilians. The all-girl bully gang in the school was an interesting choice to make, and for me, they certainly made an impact. They also worked as a catalyst in helping the story move forward. Both of their past offs in hell were traumatizing for him and eventually made him lose his composure. The wife, Hal's son, made no impact on me or the story. They were just there, not actually doing much. The wife was still cool, but the kid kept getting in on my nerves. There's something about these oversmart kids and arrogant kids that makes me angry in a second. Such characters are simply reckless and spoil the mood completely. However, if you look at the brighter side, then they are good actors too, mostly to instill such moving emotions in the audience, but I still had them. Several moments were quite predictable. When it came to the monkey, Hal always hated the monkey and considered it to be the reason for all the deaths in the family. His father made the first attempt to destroy the monkey and tried to burn it with a high intensity fire, and we saw glimpses of it burning. However, it made no impact on the monkey. It was later found intact in Hal's father's old stuff. Later, Hal made an attempt to cut the monkey to pieces. With each blow, monkey lost some blood like a living thing. It was cut and buried, but it came back completely intact in his life. While the first instance was a little surprised that it wasn't, and we were always expecting it to be back sooner or later. Hal coming back to his aunt's house and getting to know of deaths around the town was another sequence that made me chuckle. It was quite funny how the real estate agent narrated all the deaths around the week in the town. The death occurred in the most bizarre ways, while Hal almost shat his pants. The agent kept her fake smile while telling him about everything. I liked how the entire sequence turned out to be both horrific and funny. If we talk about the things about the story and the flow, it feels very natural. Things are not happening randomly, and each event was tied to another event. All the jump cuts felt like a deliberate part of the movie and did not ruin the experience. All the creators and the performers were able to hook us from the start to the end. Theo James really upped his game by playing these two completely different roles and just aced it. He has mostly been a good performer, but in this film, he simply gave his 100%. The whole movie revolved around him and he carried the film successfully on his shoulders. In the second half of the film, there is a change in narration from Hal to Bill. I felt at that point the story lost a little spark. Bill was only being pure evil and there was no modulation in his performance. His character was mostly flawed and lacked much depth. While Theo did an amazing job in this portrayal, the writers could do a better job with his character. Even his motivation to kill his brother was not satisfactory. Bill always hated Hal and we never knew why. Bill did not care much about his mother either. So his trying to kill Hal after his mother's death did not appear to be a big motivator. Bill's entry actually slowed down the pace of the film. It could have been better if it could have been the monkey itself had tried to kill Hal. It would have been better if the monkey had already killed Bill and then wanted to kill Hal. This could work as a motivator for Hal to go after the monkey itself. It had much more potential, but they lost it because they wanted to show a revenge story between brothers. In the conclusion, I will say that I loved the movie and thoroughly enjoyed it. I wish I could see it in the theater, but I missed it. Watched for a lot of surprising, interesting there, some laughs and Theo. And that is all for today, guys. Thank you so much listening to this and watching this video. If you are watching it on YouTube, I really hope that I make more of these videos. I really like to get into the deeper part of a movie, a series, a book. Everything is there. If you want me to give a review about or give this essay about any other book or any other series or movie, give me your suggestions. We'll work on it and we'll make a pretty good video on that. Okay, this is my first attempt. I hope you like it. Thank you so much for watching. If you like it, give it a like, subscribe to this channel, share with your friends, and signing out.